So Transformers is obviously only a small portion of your body of work. What characters have you done in other franchises or other projects that have been interesting or resonated with you?
I'm going to let you ladies start it.
Oh, gosh.
I want to know more about what you all have done.
Well, I've been all over the map. I toured as a new Christie minstrel in 1987 for a whole year, and out of a motorhome with a group of people that I really still love to this day. It was a great honor. And going all over the country, you just see how nice our country really is. After I raised my kids and fortunate enough to come back and start it over, it's really like starting over because who remembers me? I'm mud again. And but I've been fortunate. I studied with a lot of scene study, took a lot of workshops with really talented casting directors, got a lot of feedback. We all did that. But I think the best thing that I did was go to UCB, Upright Citizens Brigade, and take improv. And they couldn't get rid of me. I went to 401 like 4 times. They're like, "You're back." I'm like glued to those people. I love them. And then from that, I fortunately got to be a recurring improv actor on Conan. And I was on Jimmy Kimmel a couple times. And that's helped me to get commercials and parts. It seems like everybody wants to shoot me or kill me or hold me hostage. I was in a movie called A Clear Shot, which is a true story about the actual hostage-taking crisis that was in Sacramento in 1993. If you remember, it was a group from Asia who was a gang, and for their initiation, they were supposed to, I don't know what they were doing, but it was crazy. And they really had no idea, because they'd watched so much TV and they were very young, they thought they asked for, in the negotiation, if they could get a full metal jacket. Instead of and they don't come that way. So there was a lot of, that was fun, and I screamed for probably 3 weeks in Mexico. I screamed and cried and was tied up for 3 weeks in Mexico. It was really, what a glamour job. And then I did a music video with, Reason and Schoolboy Q, where they had AK-47s, and I was in a nice dress, and I had my glass, and I'm running around, and they're just trying to shoot me the entire video. And I just did another video like that, where some guy comes into our house, and this is another time where this guy comes into our house. He's like, comes in. You'll see it. I can't tell much about it, but I'm chased with my family the entire time. And, people knock on the door, and they could be selling religion or something. This guy. So it's chasing us around the house. I just did that. I'm in Starling. I play a mental patient, and we don't know how I got that part. That's kind of a funny story.
They probably came to a panel reading.
This is I have one more funny story, and I'll stop being funny. So anyway, my mother was an artist and a vocal teacher and everything, but I used to go with her to college. I was like the 5th kid. God damn it, get in the car. No one else can watch you. Get in the car. So I'd go, and I learned how to make pots and stuff at the art place. And so this lady goes, we need someone who can sculpt a pot. It would be featured, and I'd be, ooh, I can do it. I can do it like the back of my hand. I get there, and they place me right next to the stars, okay? There's only 3 of us. I'm right there. They've got a dolly going in front of me, right in front of me. They name me Sarah, and they go, okay, make the fluted pot. And this is true. It was as hard as a rock. Nobody warmed it up, and it was sculpting clay. It wasn't pottery clay, so I looked like I lied to get on the job. And the AD goes, this is a train wreck. and I was trying for like a half an hour to do that. Anyway, these jobs are hell. Right. So finally someone else, after I got it all worked down, went to the bathroom, washed my hands, she got a pot out of it. And then I could make them all the time because it was warmed up. You have to warm it up. But then I ended up getting a small little featured role in there. So I don't know. But I've got a bunch of things everywhere. And
God.
I don't know.
I want to jump onto that whole improv thing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though you're probably not going to ever improv a voiceover script, there's an energy to it. I did a panel with 6 people in Florida a couple weeks ago, and the person who was leading the panel said, okay, now we're all 6 voiceover actors, right? And the person leading the panel said, okay, well, I'll sort of ask you questions, and if there's any dead air. 6 voiceover actors? Dead air? I mean, any one of us could jump in right now and riff off anything that I just said. And that is so valuable to have, because it's not going to only serve you as far as coming up with words, but it's going to serve you as far as coming up with characters.
It makes your character jump off the page.
Yeah. Right into your bank account.
Oh, and on-camera commercials are the best, because I love it when you get an audition and they're just like, make it your own. And like literally, I don't know what's gone on with COVID, but like the on-camera world has lost their mind. I'm getting auditions now. They're not even giving me, I literally just had an audition the other day for some auto insurance thing. And they're like, okay, so you're talking to your kids and you're giving them the big talk, but then there's a turn and you've got to reveal that it's a car insurance. And I emailed my agent. I was like, cool, where's the script? Oh, no, there's no script. Just improv, the whole thing.
You're the script.
And I'm like, so like, I'm like, okay. I mean, but yeah, you never know. Like, you need it. You need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally have a callback. I have to go home and self-tape tonight, where they want me to be in a meeting, and then all of a sudden, some kind of a phantom ghost appears, and I'm terrified, and I'm screaming again. So,
Dude, that sounds like my career.
I think they want to kill everybody that looks like their name is Karen.
Like that.
I had to ask Schoolboy Q if his AK was loaded, and he was offended. You know, I'm serious.
What was the question again?
I don't even know.
Wait, favorite roles?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
okay. I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on the medium. Like I have a couple plays that I've done that I'm really proud of. I played this show called Yellow. It was the regional premiere in San Francisco, and I played this crazy Pentecostal fundamentalist woman who beat her gay son. And I did all this research for the show, and I literally was coming out of rehearsals like jumping on Bart and sobbing as I was coming home, because I was like, because you can't hate the character you're playing, right? You have to learn to relate to them. And I was just like, and then, you know, the reviews started coming in, and someone wrote some review that was like, and Linsay Rousseau, his sister Timothea, was terrifyingly something, and I was like, nailed it. Yes. Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like other stuff. I did a feature a couple years ago where I played this Ukrainian drug addict, and that was another intense one too. And I'm like, yeah, but like voiceover wise, I'm like, I die a lot.
That was my favorite thing was being Alice in Go Ask Alice and dying of a drug addiction. It was.
Yeah. Well, I will have to say,
my mom said, "Do you do drugs?" I'm acting, Mom.
I'm going to be in God of War Ragnarok, and I had to do these two insane voices because, again, I guess I'm the screamy, shouty girl, right? So I get this audition for this berserker owl, and the refs that the devs sent were these female metal singers. And they wanted this really, really high-pitched whistle scream sound for this berserker owl character. Luckily, I was playing D&D with a metal singer who also teaches metal, so I was like, dude, can we, he's like, well, teach me some voiceover, I'll teach you some metal. I was like, great. So I coached with this guy, and then we go into the sessions, and I'm just like, I was like, do you really want to listen to this for like 4 hours? And they ended up pitching me a lot down, but we did do a couple of these, and I was just like really proud of myself for being able to get to this like crazy, insane screaming, because I've done a lot of screaming, but this was a different type of screaming, and I was like, I'm kind of proud of that character. You probably will only hear her for 5 seconds before you kill her, but you know what? Let her go for a while and you'll hear the scream.
Right, yeah, okay.
Come on.
Fine. No, I won't be as long.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
No, they have amazing stories. Amazing stories.
I know. I'm like, tell us more.
Well, the not funny thing is I'm not a funny person, so I don't have like fun.
Say that.
No. It's like I do better at drama. I just do. The cadence comes out better. I can relate better to the characters. I just have a better delivery for it. So when I do on-camera stuff, one of the favorite things that I did was a short film called 5 Ways to Say Goodbye. And it was the idea of 5 siblings who had been adopted, coming together. Their mother had passed away, and then 5 different ways that each of these kids dealt with grief. And I remember sitting, we were at a funeral parlor, filming in a funeral parlor, and I was kind of sitting in the holding area because they were going to do the scene where I walk in and I see my mother laid out for the first time, and then that is, up to me to decide. Like the script is like she just loses it, and I'm sitting there, and you're going down because you have to use your imagination and put yourself in there. And as I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is a horrible place to be. This is horrible. And I went in and I did the scene and I came out and I felt like shit the rest of the day, because when you put yourself down there, you just feel like shit. But when the film came out and I actually saw it and I watched it, to me, it was so touching and it meant so much to me, even to not just my scene, I meant so much to me. No, like the way the other actors.
Well, hell yeah. Now, come on, wait a minute. We got to enjoy ourselves.
The way the other actors dealt with
That's right.
the death of their mother, and then the way that it came out for me, it meant a lot to me. And it was a good refresher and a good reminder of why I do the things I do and what I'm good at, and to own it. And so what? When we did War for Cybertron, the scene where she's tortured, it was a very difficult scene because we wanted it to be real. The director wanted it to be real. We wanted it to come out real. And I had a hard time after we did that scene, because earlier you'd asked about doing it in sequence, and we had done that, and I couldn't stop crying. And so, this is kind of funny. I had read somewhere that this acting exercise that somebody would do to help break you out of an emotion would be do this weird like breathing technique, right? And it kind of sounded like this. So I'm like, I'm crying, and I keep delivering the lines, and he's like, stop it, you're not there anymore, you're not there anymore. And I'm like, okay, and so I'd kind of go off to the side, and I'd be like,
That's incredible.
and
I'm going to remember that.
and
so doing that.
later, I came out, and it was like dead silence. They were just all like, is she going insane? And he told me later, he's like, you sounded like you were insane. It sounded like you were going to lose your mind. And I was like, I was just trying.
Remember that. Remember
Welcome,
that.
welcome to my world.
I was like, I was just trying to like break myself out of this shit place.
Yeah, because
that I
when
had
you
went
go
to.
there, it weighs on you. And that's the problem. Like the play I did, I was like, you have to learn to disconnect from your characters sometimes. But yeah, I mean, because like we had a similar thing with Elita-1, because Phil and I had the conversations like, you saw shit and more, right? Yeah. Go there. And I was like,
They've had
fuck.
another
I just spent 15 years in therapy to not go there, but okay.
Now I gotta go. I don't know how well it worked, but
Dude, I was crying during your torture scene.
You must
so
embrace your crazy. That's my theory.
Yeah, you got to be crazy to do this.
Embrace it.
Embrace it.
oh, and so as far as video games, that was my favorite film that I've done so far. And then I have been so lucky and so blessed that I play Ningguang in Genshin Impact, and she's one of my favorite characters. She's so amazing. She's the most powerful woman I've ever played, and she just brushes it off. She just walks around like, I'm sorry, her shit don't stink, and she is amazing. And I love her, and I love the fans, and I love the game, and and it's still going, so I'm so blessed that I can keep bringing this character out and keep doing her, hopefully for years and years.
Oh, I love that.
Well, my character's coming out with version 6, so
You guys are
maybe I'm thinking like buddy cop side quest here is what I'm thinking.
I love it. I love
That'd
it.
be nice.
I have a mind. I can't even begin to compete with this. Okay, years ago, long time ago, back at the beginning of film, I did Spider-Man. It was the very first syndicated Spider-Man.
Oh, I love that show.
And the cool thing about it, I was the very first Black Cat.
Oh.
I know. Now, I have to admit that as one gets older, the range of doing a sexy voice can start getting a little wiggly. So I have to really work on that. But the cool thing about the Spider-Man show was that I got to become Aunt May at the same time. And I'm doing the same, both voices in the same show.
Oh, God.
And that was my first experience.
I grew up watching you. I grew up watching you.
Okay.
Spider-Man,
All
Spider-Man, he does whatever.
All
a
right,
spider
there
can.
you go.
Everybody knows.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, we just keep on talking. You have to.
Yeah, like you said, there's no dead air here. Just interrupt us. Just
Is somebody
interrupt us.
bringing in dinner or?